on, guys? Welcome to episode 22 of our Watford career mode, and today a new season starting. Everything is in place, and hopefully we can go ahead and move forward and have a good year. Which one are we going to enter here? We can win that one. Probably can't win. We'll jump into here mainly because I think we can win that one. But hopefully we move forward and we have a really good year. So we're going to take a look at how they want us to go about this year, what we're looking to do, what transfers we're going to try and bring in as well. So hopefully we'll have a little bit of money to spend as well. We technically won the Premier League last year, but we're going on like we didn't. And then we're going to also look at a couple things. So as I was skipping through and looking for players to bring in, I was also looking through the youth team. And what we have here in the youth academy, we got some good talents in here. As you can see, this goalkeeper here, Declan Mason, the Englishman, 61 overall at the moment at 16, 83 to 94 potential. Can eventually come in, 70 to 94 potential here. Another goalkeeper. We got a lot of goalkeepers, but Declan Mason so far the pick of the bunch. A left back, doesn't look too bad. Ideally, if he grows well enough, Raul Vasquez, we could possibly bring him in as a replacement for, who do we have at that side? Not Firmino. It's the other one there. We'll look in a minute. Another left back here, 77 to 94, only 15 years of age. This is the one that accidentally got in. And then at right wing we have one. And then this is one I'm also looking at here, 83 to 94 potential, 62 overall as is, only 16. He's got a bright future ahead and should get some play time this year and jump into the team. So look at the transfer budget. Oh my god. 116 million pounds and 350,000 pounds a week. Holy Lord. Oh my god. We'll look at that in a moment, but for training at the moment, we're going to do a couple of things. We're also going to get plenty of players back we can actually put in that spot. Delabashiru we're going to put back in here. We're going to do a little bit of defending. I'd like him to be a little bit defender, or a little bit better at the back. We'll probably train him on both sides. We'd like him to be part of the team soon enough. As well as Benitez here, we'll train him a little bit, not a ton. I don't want him overdoing it so early. And then we got a couple here. Kana could go ahead and get some training, dribbling, shooting. What about passing? Yeah, we can use some passing up front. And then who do we bring along here? Other goalkeepers. Heinrichs could technically. Badiashile. He's going to play a lot this year. I feel he'll grow more than you would think. Unfortunately, Wilmot is a little bit underrated in this game, I feel. So we'll go with Kent, mainly because Kent has Sar right in front of him. Let's try shooting. Yes, we'll go with this and see how that comes along. And hopefully they grow pretty well. Delabashiru should grow a little bit, as well as Benitez and the rest of them, of course. But forward we go. We'll advance just a little bit, excuse me, and then we'll take a look at the squad, who we're going to move on out of here, who we're going to keep, and a couple of other decisions as soon as we zip forward here. Now, there are a couple players coming back from loan we're probably going to move out. Sema being one of them. Got a couple players in there now. The way the squad is set up, I'd like to bring in a couple players. I'd like to bring in another center back. I'd like to keep Cathcart around, but Dawson's not staying. And Cathcart we may keep around for another year to have that fifth option just in case, but it's not something necessarily important enough to do. We don't need to keep him around. I'd like to have 4 good center backs. The idea being Cabaselli, and then Badiashile, Sar, and then another I'd like to bring in, just to have 4 really good center backs, even though bringing them in and out will kind of be of an issue. I believe I've decided that Capu is going to be the one to leave. Capu and Chalobah were the 2 players I was fiddling with here, and Chalobah came on late, 25 years of age still. Capu, 31, starting to decline, unfortunately, so I think he's the one we move out. Dawson will be moving out. Volkir, Wilmot, I believe, will also be moving out. This lad here, I'm not sure who he is, he'll be moving out. This kid here may move out on loan, still only 22, 70 overall, not too bad. Dahlberg will be going out on loan, I believe. Peñaranda, another player who's not too bad, but I think we're at striker. 23, we may move him on. Felivi will be going as well, and Sinclair Shakubiak will also be going. So we got some players here who we can be selling on. And then some players I'd like to bring in. I'd like to bring in one more young midfielder who won't be complaining too much about playing time, and someone who can come in and play pretty well and add a little bit of a different dimension. What we have in midfield is a lot of tough kind of players. McKennie, Decore, Shalaba, it was Capu, Cleverly as well. I'd like someone who's a little bit more dynamic in midfield. Hughes is a nice player to have in midfield, but he's not as physically dynamic is what I'm kind of looking for, and we'll see if we can bring one of them in. Up front, the front four I think are good. I don't think we need to bring anybody in, and then a starting left back is probably where I would also like, along with goalkeeper. 37 years of age, Foster. We'd like to bring in one who's gonna be more of the future. So we can go ahead in the squad hub, see what we're gonna do when it comes to taking some of these players away. Dahlberg can go add to the loan list. Messina's staying. We need another left back. Dawson add to transfer list. Wilmot can go as well. Unfortunately, in game he's just not great. And then Cathcart can go as well. 31. It's a bit of an older squad when you really look at it, but you know, contracts expiring. We're going to get rid of Navarro. We'll just re-sign Firmino and see if one of the youngsters comes through. Capu going as well. Sema can go. Folk here can go. We've got a lot of players on the transfer list actually. You can go on loan. Peñaranda can go. Felivi can go. So we can get rid of all the deadwood now. That would be particularly good. And then Andre Gray, I believe, is someone we talked about leaving as well. Mainly because we'll be in a good spot striker-wise. Welbeck, Hernandez, Dini. I'd like to use Welbeck a little bit more as well. Andre Gray, 29. Kind of the same player as Troy Dini in a sense in FIFA. So we're probably going to move them on and see how this works out. Now let's go to the transfer hub and see which players I was looking at. These players are from last year, these couple. We can remove Trincao from the list. We can also move Kennedy from the list and Bowen. I guess Tuanzebe and Rekic can stay, or the center backs can stay in general. But we're going to look at some players here. I was looking at a couple goalkeepers. Rui, a player who is pretty good. We'll see. I'm not sure how this is going to work. I believe he's there permanently now after joining on loan. He was on loan last year. I'm not sure how the game deals with that kind of situation. Timo Horn, a good one who won't grow a ton more. Butland, probably a good one a year or two ago. He's had a bad year at Stoke in real life, but in game he's still pretty good. Andrea Lunin back at Real Madrid, but one of those players who probably sift around the loan list until he found a home, as well as Zach Steffen, who I feel at 25 is also going to be one of those players. If I had to go, I want to go at Rui, and then Lunin, Steffen, Horn, Butland in that order if I can. Left back, we have a couple here. Zinchenko, a player who actually moved to Bayern. A player who is probably not good enough for City, I don't think, in real life. Someone we may be able to bring in. Reguilon back at Real Madrid after spending the year at Sevilla on loan, I believe it was. And another player who finds himself just on the cusp at Real Madrid and having too many players in front of him. He's got Marcelo and Mendy in front of him now, Reguilon. So that'd be a good one. And then Antonio Leito spent the last year on loan, but probably a player we can prize away from not Antonio Valencia, but prize away from Valencia. Saw Antonio there. So if I had to go in order, it'd be Reguilon, Leito, and then Zinchenko. That's probably how I'm going to go. And then we'll go to center back and midfield in a minute. We'll go center back first. Jason Denayer, an old City player, a good center back, only 25. Holding, someone who's moved to Germany in game, a player who gets pretty good in the game as well as being English, can definitely come in and do a job for us. Juan Foyth is a good one to have as well. It's funny with Foyth, I don't think he plays enough for Tottenham. After all the center back problems and stuff, he still doesn't get as much game time as I figured he would. Maybe we can bring him in, and he can play right back, as you can see. And then Christopher Ajer, the Norway international at Celtic, is probably one of my favorites here. If I had to go in order of how I wanted to go, it'd probably be Ajer, then Foyth, Holding, Denayer, or Denayer and then Holding. Holding be last, but I think I'm going to go down that way, as well as it being as realistic as possible with those ones as well. Now in midfield, this is where things get a little bit different. I was looking for someone who could really dynamically change the midfield. Now I'm also in a spot now where I really enjoy these two players. Now, not necessarily when it comes to athleticism the most dynamic of two, they're not like that, but if we could bring one of them in and move Chalobah on, a player we were on the cusp of moving on anyway, I think that would be a nice trade, especially Grujic. Sumari also gets really good in game. Grujic gets really good in game, but Grujic is already more well-rounded. We'd have to see. I'm really torn on who I'd possibly want to bring in there. And then Emery Chen is still on the list, though, getting up there. Yeah, as you can see, 50 million we'd have to offer up there, though we have plenty of money. So we're going to see how this goes a little bit. Midfield is not the priority, so we may have an episode or two to think about that before we really go ahead and make a move in midfield. We've got a lot of players who are upset that they're starting to go. Dusseldorf want Dini. That's not going to happen. Dini goes nowhere. Reject. Alright, get out of here. And then, so we have 7 people in the chat here. Worried. I'm surprised but a bit glad. Can't guarantee you playtime. It's just going to have to happen here. Cathcart, can't guarantee you playtime. Capu, can't guarantee you playtime. Everybody is happy. Suarez is happy. Dahlberg is happy. So everybody's on the same page, at least for now. And we're going to get some players out. We have a ton of money as it is, and we're going to go ahead and probably make... might I suggest naming Troy Deeney? Team sheets. Who's the captain as it is? Is he not the captain? What's going on here? Roles. Captain of Decore. We can keep Decore as captain for now. I mean, I'm pretty sure when Deeney's in, he's captain. It's not too big of a deal in game, necessarily. So let's sim through, auto replace unavailable player for this match. I think what we're gonna do is gonna go left back and center back. I think we're gonna bring those players in. We drew what I wanted to see, but it is what it is. So let's go take a look at the squad real quick and how we're gonna line up. We can actually bring these lads out for now. Pereira in, De La Feu in on the left, on the right. Cabaselli is the better center back, but I really don't want to. I think Badiashile is going to be so good, so I kind of want to keep him going. Bring Welbeck off of there. I'd like to keep him growing. He's going to be a very, very good center back. We're going to have 4 pretty good center backs at least, which is where we want to be. So let's go ahead and we're going to sim through the next game against Bilbao, and then we're going to go ahead and bring in one of these players here. We're probably going to go left back to start, as I said. Center back as well. And goalkeeper. Need to do those. Midfield we'll just leave for another time. So let's sim through here. Jesus Christ, stop skipping around. Transfer offer for Sarr. Not even going to read that. Transfer offer for Gray, though. Malang Sarr. Alright, so let's go to Andre Gray. What's he worth here? 8 million. I can probably delegate this for just a little bit more. Just a tad. Yeah, we'll try that. And then Malang Sarr will reject that offer. Freaking cat over there loves that blanket. Out of the corner of my eye, I can see him over there. But hopefully by the end of this episode, we'll have 3 players in. We'll be in a good spot. We'll be thinking about which midfielders we'd like. Let me know which midfielder you guys want to see. You can also, of course, just comment in the comments below where you want to go in midfield. I would like someone athletically dynamic, like someone like Chamberlain when he comes in for Liverpool. It's just a different kind of player. Quick, can really move with it. So a player like that, preferably. 8.3 million from Freiburg for Andre Gray. It's not too bad. We're gonna have a ton of money, a really huge amount of money. All right, so let's go forward. Let's bring in some players. We're gonna go left back first. Or did like a center goalkeeper as well. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go Reguilon first. Approach to buy. It's between 17 and 27. Definitely affordable. Everything's affordable. I can't believe the money we got. It's a pretty good start. Or a pretty good end as well. Offer transfer fee. Let's just start at 17 million and see where they go from here. Oh, they're fair. They think it's good. It's actually less than what the scout told me. So definitely take that. 17 million. It looks like we're gonna get a starting left back. 79 overall. He grows. He should grow. So should be nice. Important. Great. That's what they were hoping for. That's good. 4 years. We'll accept that. Disregard release clause. See, I hate when they don't tell me. I really do. In real life, I feel like we'd have to offer him a little bit more. But do we do this? Is this good enough? Perfect. Into the club he comes. Reguilon, I hate when they don't tell me what they want in terms of wage. That is so aggravating because I probably always overpay, but I don't want to mess up. So now we have a new left back at the club, a new starter, and there he is, Reguilon. Forward, up we come, popping in for Capu. So there we go. We have fixed one issue. There are 2 issues here on the team. One was left back after Holovas retired, and then goalkeeper because he's getting up there in age and declining pretty quickly. So goalkeeper is going to be the next one, and then we also wanted another center back, and we're probably going to do them all right now. So let's jump into this transfer hub. Let's go. We're going to go with Rui first, and then Lunin? Or do I go with Lunin first? Well, we'll try for Rui. 17 million is what they wanted. We'll go with Rui. We also have one that's ready to come up from the youth team, so you know. Will they accept 17? Last time it was between 17 and 27. We got it at 17. They want 22. Propose new transfer fee. Let's try 20. What are they looking at here? They want 22.4. I'm comfortable with 22.4. I thought it was going to be a little bit more. He's a good goalkeeper as is, and he also grows a little bit if I remember properly. So, I mean, that's nice to have, isn't it? Nice to have. Let's jump forward. Come on, skippity, skippity, skip. Let's see what we're looking at here. Crucial, of course. 4 years. Let's try 4. He'll be 32. That's what he's after. Same bloody guys last time, and only wants 39,000. I'm comfortable with that. I'm comfortable just bringing in quality, and it looks like we've bought in 2 quality players, and then we've also going center back. Ajer, as I said, is where I want to go, and he's so cheap. 8 million, between 8 million and 10 million. That is a nice bit of money. So we're actually getting close to having a bit of an issue here. So this year, we've got De La Feu, at minimum Pereira, who's 30 now, I believe. Counter, remove sell-on clause, submit offer, try that. And then I want 9.6, that's fine. The issue being, I believe, Pereira's almost 30. And I don't remember De La Feu's age, but I believe he was getting up there. Eventually, we're going to have to replace those 2 as well. I'll have to look. He wants rotation, which is good. 4 years. So we're going to have to look. I know for a fact Pereira is someone next year we're going to have to replace. Kane's coming up and doing well, which is good. Just gonna accept all this because we're not even gonna spend all this money here, so it's comfortable here. In Football Manager I'd probably be a little bit more shrewd, but at the moment I don't need to be. So what we've got here is Ajer as well into the club, and here he is. Gonna move him up here for Dawson, Cathcart, and then the goalkeeper can come right on in. I also don't want to lose out on Foster. I'd like him to get a couple games in. I just want to remember him there. So there we go. A goalkeeper, a left back. The center back is in. Very nice. So let's take a look. As you can see, Capicelli, 29. He's moving on up there, but we're doing pretty well bringing in some youngsters to bring that back. Decore's 27. He's still a lot. So De La Feu is only 26. So what it is Pereira. And that's it. Pereira, and then everyone else is rather young when it comes to it. We've got some youth players coming up, so you know, maybe next year we go out and buy like an absurdly good cam. We'll see. Kana, of course, we don't want to hinder that development, but he's coming along nicely, so it's not like buying a new attacking midfielder would be an issue, and we don't need it this year at 29. He's not really declining yet. We're just finishing off his prime here with Pereira, so we're doing a pretty good job. So let's just accept that loan. Will he play there as Sassuolo? Hope so. I hope so. But next episode, guys, midfield. We can probably start the season next episode. Or if you guys feel like I should be looking for something else, also let me know down there. But midfield, Samare, Grujic. Do I go in here? Well, I'm only going to go ahead and bring Grujic in if Chalobah and Capu leave, which, you know, sometimes in this, and it's not necessarily going to happen. So if both of them leave, we'll bring in Grujic or Samari. But if not, then we'll just keep him around, and we don't need to bring in Grujic or Samari, I believe it was. So it's okay. Did we get knocked out of the group stage in this? And Heinrichs is hurt. Did we really get knocked out of the group stage? Yes, we did. Ooh, gross. I picked that one because I thought we could do well in it. And then we drew with Buenos Aires and lost to Roma. And that didn't go as well as I would have hoped. So extra money's not coming in. But, you know, it is what it is. So we've still got 66.32 million, and not a lot of people have really left. So, you know, just a bruised elbow as well, and everybody will be fit come the beginning of the season, which will be next time round. So next time we can zip forward, and we'll probably look at that Liverpool. Look at the start of the year we've got. Liverpool in the Community Shield, Liverpool in the league, then Burnley, Arsenal in the league, Tottenham in the league. And as you know, last year everything was kind of coming around. Liverpool beat us a bunch toward the end outside the Carabao Cup final. They were really starting to beat us. We've really found a pretty decent difficulty, and the standings this year in the Premier League should be more realistic, so we're going to have a tough time breaking into that top 4 where we want to be. But we also have the Champions League coming, so we have a lot coming. We'd like to be deep at the squad level. We've got 3 strikers. Barco can play Cam along with Kana and Pereira. Left midfield, Welbeck can play there, Kent can play there, Barco, De La Fey. Right midfield, Sarr, Kent. Did we bring in another? No, we don't have to bring in another. No, we don't have to do that. We can just swap them around. Midfield will be good. Chalobah, Decore, McKennie. What else we got in midfield? Maybe we do need another midfielder. We're trying to bring in a midfield. Well, maybe we need 2 midfielders if we're moving Capu out. So if Capu leaves, then we'll have 3. Pereira could theoretically drop back. Oh, so okay. I'm glad I went through there and looked. The other positions are good. Okay, so we'll go to the squad hub and take Chalobah off. So Capu can leave, and we'll bring in Grujic and another 6. 6 is probably a good number for midfielders, I would think. Right? I think 6 is a good number. 1, 2, 3, then Grujic. Oh, 5. 5 is a good number. We'll have Decore, Chalobah, 1, 2, Grujic or Samari, so that's 3. McKennie is 4, and then someone else at 5. So we'll have to bring in 2 midfielders, I feel. We could theoretically no, add to transfer list. We could theoretically keep Capu, but if we can bring in someone younger and ready to roll and a different guy, so we can actually go for Grujic or Silamari to start, but I don't know. I'm going to have to think on who I want. So next episode, 2 midfielders, Community Shield, and we'll go about it that way, guys. But that is going to be the end of this episode. I hope you folks have enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more. And peace.